Using a smartphone to make videos for your business content marketing plan is the best solution for most small business owners. And here's how to get ready for 2021 with your videos. In this video, I'm going to give you my tips on how to get the best out of your smartphone for your videos, to grow your business and to get started quickly with little or no cost. And at the end of the video, I'll give you a template script to follow so that you keep your viewers engaged whilst you give value without rambling off at a tangent, which we tend to do when we don't have a script to follow. So the key is to start where you're at and work with what you've got. And if you've watched any of my videos, you'll know that I'm all about a no fluff approach to take action and get the job done. All of my tips that I give you in my videos are what I've found to have helped me, and I hope that they'll fast track you too to get quicker results. So firstly, let's take a look at the camera settings on your phone. I use an iPhone, but whichever smartphone you have, you'll have the ability to do this. So I go into settings and down to camera, and I want to check at what rate the video records at. You can see that I have mine set to 1080p, which means that this records my video in HD. And if I click to go into this, I can alter it to record in 4K if I wish. On Android, this may be shown as megapixels, so see what difference they make. And as I'm doing talking head videos, I've no need to slow down footage, so the 30 frames a second setting is fine. If you're shooting a film or B-roll to slot into your video and you've sections of slow motion, then film at 60 frames a second so that your slow-mo will be smoother, being that there's more information in each frame. But for our purpose, 1080p at 30 frames a second is certainly good enough. But remember that although 4K and high megapixels is a better resolution, it also takes more power and time for processing and storage later. But the choice is yours. Perhaps have a play about and see how you find it and which you prefer. So secondly, talking about power and storage, always make sure that before you start filming, you have enough space for your video on your phone and enough battery power to record it. You may also want to put your phone on Do Not Disturb mode too, so that your video isn't interrupted by outside calls and messages. Also, I will lock down the autofocus and the auto exposure on my settings. I'll get my lighting right, and then by touching and holding on the screen until the AEAF lock message shows on the screen. This ensures then that I'm always in focus in the video and that the light won't change due to any outside factors that are beyond my control. The next thing is to get ready to film. So to get started, you don't need any fancy equipment, and if you're on a budget, just use what you have. I've put a list of equipment that I use in the description below, which are affiliate links. However, you don't need to buy anything because you can start with a table and a pile of books if you don't have a tripod, and a good workaround for a phone holder is a 3-pin plug to sit your phone in. So you can always find something to get your job done. Make sure that you record your video in landscape and not in portrait mode. This is 1920 by 1080 or 16 by 9. This is the correct resolution for YouTube, and you can easily make them into a correct format for anything else that requires square or 9 by 16. So make sure you're in landscape. Sound next, and it's a must to make sure that your listener can hear you properly. The mics built into your smartphones are good enough to get going as long as you're not too far away from your phone or you're not outside on a windy day. So have a practice record and a sound check, and if you decide that you do want a better mic and that your phone's just not good enough, then I either use a lapel mic, which I've got on today, or I've got a mic on my rig, which is shown below in the description. Both of these need the lightning connector to work with my iPhone, as my iPhone has a lightning port and not a round hole to plug directly into. And also the Rode mic that I have on my rig that's shown below also needs an SC7 connector too, as the pin on the end of that mic has only got 2 rings and we need 3 for the audio on the smartphone, which is where the SC7 cable comes in. It converts from 2 to 3. The lapel mic pin has 3 rings on the end of that, so I only need the lightning adapter and not the extra SC7 cable for my particular lapel mic. So just be aware of that. When you're ordering something, make sure that you've got the right connections, otherwise it just won't work. If you like these tips so far, download my free guide, 10 tips to filming video like a pro with your smartphone, and the link is in the description below. This will give you more advice on how to keep things simple and to make your videos more professional. Next, we talk about your lighting for your videos, and again, play around with what you have at home or at work. The key is to light up the subject, i.e. me, so try your positioning, standing under or just behind a ceiling light to see how this looks. You can also use any extra lamps that you have or torches and shine them from different angles. In my videos I use the ceiling lights in my office, plus I have 2 softbox lights that shine on me and onto my background. And I also have a light on my rig and a selfie light in case I need anything extra, but normally I don't. So just start with what you've got to get going and improve later. Now finally, you want to have a script in place to follow for your video content and for the flow. And if you want to use a teleprompter or bullet points on a notepad, it doesn't matter, but we want to avoid you going off at a tangent and waffling about all sorts of things. So to start with, start your video with a hook. This is a strong promise of what the viewer's going to learn in the video and give them a reason to stay around until the end with a juicy or bonus tip. Secondly, tell them in a quick sentence why they should watch and what credibility you have, and then deliver the content points with the information on what you promised in the hook, maybe 3, 4 or 5 points, whatever's needed to get the result for your viewer. Then let the viewer know what they can learn from you and how they can do that. And finally, wrap it up with your juicy or your bonus tip. Finally, any further call to actions can be given, and there you have your completed structured video, to the point and effective. So to recap, hook and a promise to start, then your credibility and reasons to watch. Next, deliver the content points that you promised, point them to how they can learn more, the final bonus tip, and then any other call to actions that you'd like the viewer to do. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you want to find out more about anything I've talked about in this video, then have a read in the description and download that free guide. Also, you can click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more. Next, take a look at these videos on how you'll never be stuck for what to post and how to use video to grow your email list and your audience. Did you see how I followed the structure then that I mentioned in that video?